Before you get angry, this is not going to be a list video. And I know the title implied that, and some of you probably clicked on this because of that, but that's because first impressions matter. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. First impressions for people are what we build our relationships on, and a game is no different. What you think of a game, what preconceived notions and opinions you have about it before you get your hands on it, colour that first all-important experience. I'm Dennis from Windmill Slam, and I'm here to talk about the way that Magic presents itself. Something that fascinates me, and always has, is the way that you collect information about pop culture without experiencing it. It's almost like you learn about things through osmosis. If a friend of mine hasn't seen Star Wars, I immediately ask them to describe to me the plot of Star Wars.
Darth Vader. He is the bad guy.
Watching them piece together little bits and anecdotes that they've heard is fascinating to me.
Luke Skywalker, he has a lightsaber.
And it makes noise.
I even have a series on my own channel where I get people who don't know how to play Magic to draft. Tell me everything you know about Magic the Gathering.
Nothing.
There can't be nothing. There must be something you must have picked
Okay,
up.
I know there are cards and there are magic involved in it.
Right. And the first question I always ask is, how do you play Magic the Gathering?
And then by magically I kind of play the cards and then...
Magic happens?
Yeah.
These ideas and opinions have to come from somewhere. So it's important to consider the brand and the image that Magic pumps out into the world to these non-players. Especially because non-player can very easily be thought of as potential player. Over the years, Wizards has changed their tune multiple times about the way they want to present the game. Generally speaking, the game is either presented as goofy and fun, or as competitive and serious. But the material flips back between these two things over and over again. The goofy ads are a little bit more famous, things like Bob from accounting.
Send in Bob from accounting.
Or the Learn to Play CD that came with 6th edition.
Hello, and welcome to the R&D Center for Magic the Gathering. Magic is the ultimate battle of wits. There's no board, there's no monitor, no TV screen, no joystick.
Trying to sell the game as cool is where things can fall apart a little bit, and there's no better example of that than the MTV Invitational. The first and last MTV Invitational aired in the late 90s as part of something called Motel California. It featured some professional Magic players facing off on what appears to be a boat, surrounded by shirtless guys and bikini-clad girls who are asking about how the game works and commenting on how tough the players look.
Enjoy two? Okay, no problem. All right, what do you got for me, Ann?
Well, Justice is really putting the pressure on.
These guys don't look that tough.
The whole thing comes across as ridiculous and campy, and now granted, some of that is just because it's from the 90s, but I have a hard time imagining anyone even then going out and buying a starter pack after watching this. These two extremes of goofy and fun and serious and competitive have started to drift closer and closer together as the game's evolved. In the mid-2000s, we had the Play the Game, See the World campaign, which promotes Magic as an opportunity for globe-trotting and competitive play. If you go to the Magic YouTube channel, some of the first videos from back in 2006 are actually about this. On the goofy side of things, we have the Wizards Play Network videos featuring the puppet WUBERG commenting on events.
We go now to our senior combat correspondent on the front lines.
Well, Brock, fighting broke out earlier today and has been intense ever since.
The most recent WUBERG video I could find is from 2010 for the Mirrodin Besiege pre-release, and it's something you really have to see. The video itself is unlisted, but you can find it if you dig around a little bit. So what's the issue then? Should Magic be presented as goofy and fun, or competitive and serious? The answer is actually both, because it is both. The world just wasn't quite ready for it until recently. There was a sort of nerd renaissance a couple of years ago. It's become cool to be nerdy again. Comic book movies are huge blockbusters, The Big Bang Theory is one of the most watched shows on TV, and people are much more open to the idea of a tabletop card game like Magic. Magic itself also hit a new stride a couple of years ago around the same time, and that's no coincidence. Nowadays, the game can be perceived as both a fun thing to do with your friends and a competitive, serious outlet for strategy. In a world where League of Legends Championships offer $7 million in prize support, one of the most watched shows on TV is about dragons and mysticism, and there's an entire genre of entertainment devoted to watching other people play games, it makes sense that Magic is growing year after year. Old Magic advertising is a product of its time, and I'm sure that what we think is cool now will look just as dumb 20 years from now. Mainstream culture just wasn't at a point where a game about casting spells and having monsters fight each other could be taken as seriously and be as popular as it is today. But now that the rest of the world has caught up, there's no telling how far Magic can go. Current marketing efforts are less focused on pushing ads and more focused on the community and influencers. Full disclosure, I am one of those influencers, and I was flown out to PAX last year as part of that program. Take preview season for example. Preview cards now come with articles or sketches or video. These get people not only excited about the cards in the upcoming set, but they allow people to discover each other's content and build a closer community. Rather than pumping out a message about the game, Wizards is pouring their resources into creating a community that is excited and evangelical enough to sell the game themselves. And what better ad could a game ask for? How do you tell your non-Magic playing friends about the game? What's the first thing you say to them to get them excited about it? Or what's your favourite piece of old Magic advertising? Let us know in the comments below, and until next time, I've been Dennis from Windmill Slam.